Hello everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, and welcome to part 2 of our junction simplification process, whatever you want to call it. Basically, I think it was 2 episodes ago now, I did the first stage of this, which was rebuilding M4J Junction. That station name I think is going to change in the future, because I really don't like calling it that. It doesn't sound very realistic now, does it? So that was stage 1 of the process. Stage 2 is what I'm doing here, which is completely rebuilding the approaches to Luton, as well as making some minor tweaks and changes here or there elsewhere across the map. So this kind of triangular shaped junction at Luton here, it was originally, it worked fine. It was a Y junction, and it just went between Luton, Hatfield, and is Bridge House the next station along on this line that I'm on there? I think so. Then we added the triangular section in to connect Luton to Bridge House, and then we added the freight terminal, and that complicated everything. Also got to bear in mind that we have the line from Gravesend and Chipping Norton that also connects up with the line to Bridge House. Because of all of that, we end up with this absolute mess of railway lines. And today's the day where we finally fix it. And I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Every time I play the game, even if it's just going in quickly to grab a screenshot, I kind of look at this whole thing and I just shudder and think, how did I let this exist? It's not my best work at all. Yeah, enough dissing of my building skills. Let's actually talk about what you see happening on screen. So we completely remove all of the lines in and around Luton. I don't know why I froze there. The autosave had finished. Completely remove the lines all around Luton, including most of that tunnel. I think we leave that little end of the tunnel there in situ, but the rest of it does get moved. We also rebuild this bridge out of Luton Town Station, and we rebuild the junctions here to include these crossovers. And the reason I do that is, yep, I thought I built that wrong. I was just watching myself going, that's not right. That's not how it's supposed to look. The reason we do this is so that multiple services can now terminate at Luton Town. I'm going to do something similar on the other side of the station as well, and start looking at how we can have trains that just terminate at random stations across the map too. Because we're kind of at the stage now where we've got these like long distance-ish journeys, but we can kind of start adding some little commuter hoppers in as well and seeing how that goes. Rebuilding the bridge here as well over the road, trying to find one that looks nice and functions well. A little bit trickier than I thought, but I do think I've got one in the end. Can't remember what one I go with in the end. Is it this one? Might be this one. Looks nice, works well, all that good stuff. I think, yeah, I rebuild the embankment approach. There we go. That's how I do it. I thought it was symmetrical on both sides, but I couldn't remember. There it is. As soon as I saw that one, I was like, yep, that's the one. We're going with that one. And then we redo the signalling and everything like that as well. Now, the footage you're seeing in the first part of the video here, this was recorded some weeks ago. In fact, I think it was recorded almost exactly after last week's episode, which was going airborne. So some of the things you might see me talk about here, I might not be fully knowledgeable on them, purely because it was a little while ago that I actually did the video. Apologies for that. The second half, though, I recorded like 2 days ago, so I'm very much knowledgeable when it comes to that. We're using the parallel tracks mod here to try and get a decent double track line over this part of the river. You can kind of see what I'm going for here. Kind of, it's a curved triangular junction, basically. So it starts off curving here to the right, and then it crosses the river. I think it crosses the river on a bend, both sides of the triangle, and then joins up with the line that comes in from the north. This part here that I'm building actually ends up being the northern part of the triangle, you can see. And this new part that I'm building here is the, what would you call it, the west to south alignment, I suppose, alongside the sawmill, which I really like, actually. I kind of like the fact that the industry now is encompassed by, is that the right word? I think that's the right word, fully enclosed basically by the railway. I think that's kind of cool, and we do get the roads going in and out as well, and it works really well. I'm quite happy with it. This is the other side of the river then. So again, we've got kind of a triangular shape on this side too. I believe, in fact, we end up connecting both sets of lines at the top of this hill here. I'll have to double check that, but we'll see it shortly. Again, like I said, it's well over a week since I recorded this part, so you'll have to bear with me. We removed some of the road here as well, including like the 20,000 road vehicles that got stuck on this one bit of road there. We built a new bridge over the river for the road vehicles, which again I'm very happy about. I think it looks cool. Redo the lines here as well, go into the new stop. Now I didn't actually need to, I keep forgetting that if you delete a stop and then immediately rebuild one or build one close by, that it actually adopts the name of the original. I keep forgetting that, and that's something I think I need to remember, because that'd be useful. It means I haven't got to redo lines all the time. I can just delete and rebuild, and then it will automatically come across. Saves some time. This is the other side of the river crossing then. This one's built slightly more on a curve, but again, the boats can get underneath, so no worries there. And then, yeah, we immediately slope down on this side, and we connect up like so. Now, you might notice I've left some flat bits either side of the bridges, some flat curves, and you're about to see why. I was hoping there'd be a little bit more time for me to explain, but no, it's so that we can build this second part of the, or the third part, I should say, of this triangle here. The, what would you call this part? The north to south leg of the triangle, I suppose. There's another autosave. I might reduce the frequency of autosaves. I don't have many game crashes. I don't want to tempt fate by saying that, but I don't seem to have many, so it doesn't make sense to have it autosave every 10 minutes, because I spend half my life waiting for autosave at the moment. It's not convenient. This bridge here, that would have looked lovely if the leg didn't move whenever I adjusted the elevation. That's really frustrating, the fact that it does that. So you can see here, I actually, I spent ages fighting this bridge, and then just decided it looks stupid, and I replace it with something else. In fact, I replace it right now with another bridge from... Actually, do I do it here? I think I do some rebuilding anyway, and then you'll see me add... Oh, yeah, no, I remember now. Yeah, delete the road there, and then, yeah, fix it all up. This works a lot better. I think it works a lot better. It's amazing. So when I built these junctions originally, I was talking about future-proofing the network, and I might have used some buzzwords which I now come to regret. You know, I was talking about future-proofing, and I want these junctions to look like they were built by the Victorians, but were built for modern society, blah, 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 whatever it was I said. That's a load of absolute rubbish, as it turns out, because basically what I end up building here, I prefer a lot more than what I built in the first place. I guess it's just one of those things. These bridges, by the way, these bridge mods, they're absolutely beautiful. It's a shame that the parallel track... sorry, I got distracted then. Completely distracted. It's a shame the parallel tracks mod doesn't work with these bridges, because they do look awesome. But it's cool being able to build these. I mean, look at that. That looks amazing, the way it goes over the road there. And then we connect up that side. Now, technically, we are done. This triangle now exists. It works. But I'm not done here, because we've still got to connect up the freight terminal. You can see here I'm trying to look at how to actually do this. What I realized very quickly is the northern side is going to be very, very difficult. So I come over and do the southern side first, while I'm thinking about how to do the northern side. Now, this is, again, a temporary fix. This isn't exactly how this is going to end up looking. It's kind of a botch it job, just while I test basically to see if the rest of the triangle and everything else works. Because I did say that this was going to be a freight only line here, and it was going to run on the west side of the river for a ways, and then it was going to cross over. Excuse me, frog in the throat. So yeah, I will go back and rebuild this. I kind of want it to go past that iron ore mine, definitely. And I think there's like another farm or something that I want it to connect up to as well. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But this is how these junctions connect in now. So you could almost argue this one is semi-grade separated, because it goes off on the right hand side and then crosses over to the other side and then over the river and then down into the freight terminal. You can argue that's how that works. I don't know. We could all argue until we're blue in the face on how these work. Doesn't necessarily mean we're right or wrong. So the northern approach then, the tricky part with this, so there's two northern approaches, there's only one southern. So one has to go towards Luton, because we've got that little shuttle train that goes between Luton station and the freight terminal. The other one needs to go and connect up to the main line heading north. And that's the tricky one. That's the big challenge right now, is how we're going to connect that one up. In the end, I go with a very old-fashioned solution to the problem, which I'm happy with it. I think it works quite well. You guys might think it looks stupid, but it's something that people have told me in the past that I should look into building. So I thought I'd give it a whirl, and actually, yeah, it turned out okay. I love this junction here, by the way. It was a bit of an accident when I built it, but those double slips are just pure joy to see. They look so good. I'm very, very happy with those. Very, very happy with those. This tunnel here that I'm about to build as well, it's all right. It's okay. It's not the best thing I've ever done. I'm all right with it though. Again, it's I'm very critical of these when I look at them here. In a month or so's time, I'll kind of look at it again and go, oh yeah, no, that is actually kind of cool. But right now I'm skeptical. Let's put it that way. There's the connection up to Luton station again. And then for the crossovers here, I went with something a little unique, something I don't normally do, which is these double crossovers here. Basically, the lines temporarily run parallel to one another, and then they can cross over if they so wish. That's how I've done it. I'm very happy with that as a solution, actually. Again, some people might think there are other ways, better ways to do it, perhaps, but I'm happy with those. This is me building this bridge here, completely forgetting that I haven't done the northern connections. There we go. And it just so happens I was rebuilding this bridge anyway to make it look nicer, and ended up accidentally fixing the problem of not having space. Also fixing that. Do I do some other, I think I do some other little bits and pieces in this video as well. I feel like I built a new dock for the freight terminal here. I think that was this week. I don't think I did that last week. Yeah, I think it was this week. But yeah, these are the northern approaches. You can see I've gone with this flat junction design. To be honest, it actually works. We don't have many trains going from... In fact, I don't think we have any trains right now going from Luton down to Bridge House. So maybe once we've got trains running on that part of the line, it might become a little bit more congested. But right now, it seems to work pretty well, if I do say so myself. So again, I'm not too upset about this as a solution. It does look good. Hopefully it functions well. We'll find out about that. This was me realizing that bridge hadn't been built. So just go and redo that and then do the signaling, put the signaling back in there, and it all looks lovely. This looks really cool, by the way. When this is all in action, trains running across it, things like that, it does look really, really cool. I'm very, very happy with it. I feel like doing a video. I think I mentioned this last time or the time before. I feel like doing a video where we just watch the network for a bit and see how it all functions. So like watching trains coming in and out of M4J Junction, or just watching trains go across this triangular junction here. I don't really know what to call this junction right now. Luton something or other, maybe? I don't know. Also, autosig didn't work there, so I had to go through and fix it, and then other stuff. Autosave then kicked in again. Again, I've talked about irritations in this game in the past, and it's only small things like that, and I understand that mods don't always work all the time. I just find it a bit frustrating sometimes when you rely on something like autosig and then it doesn't work. It can be a little, I'd say, frustrating, but whatever. This is the final piece of the puzzle then. This is the line that connects up to Gravesend, which I actually forgot about, I'll be honest, until there. That was the one. So I selected that line and realised that I hadn't built the line that connected up. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, no, I should probably do that. That would probably be a good thing to do. And then, yeah, we do the last little bit of signalling. And I believe this is stage 1, or phase 1 of stage 2 complete. We delete those waypoints as well, just to get this line functional. And yeah, we now go up through Bridge House. The freight. Oh yeah, I redo the freight line here as well to try and encourage trains to use the slow lines. Freight trains to use the slow lines, that is. And there we are. Do a little quick reverse, and we're back and running again. Now I think there are some road vehicles that I forgot to add. It's probably something I do. Also, yeah, this freight terminal, it doesn't feel like the biggest a station can be. Maybe there is a lower limit on cargo stations, but I thought that this was expandable still. But it wouldn't let me add any extra platforms or an exit on this southern side. So I end up having to build another truck depot, which I didn't want to do, purely to get this to so like if I ever run cargo into this shipyard, what do you call it, dock, I suppose. If I ever run cargo into this dock, there's no way for it to get to the rail terminal without using trucks of some kind, which I don't like. That kind of annoys me. So yeah, I guess if anyone knows why this cargo terminal can't grow any bigger, maybe it has just reached its capacity, in which case that's annoying. Or maybe there's something blocking it. I don't think there's anything in the way. The fact that I'm able to build a truck stop right up against it suggests there isn't anything in the way. I just find it kind of irritating that I can't do it. I don't like not being able to do things in games. It's very, very frustrating. But yeah, I've got this truck depot anyway. And, you know, I'll use that if necessary and link it up that way. I'd rather not have to do that, but, you know, needs must and all that. It's just, again, frustrating. Frustrating, irritating, whatever you want to call it. It kind of looks cool as a freight terminal now, but it's not what I wanted it to be, which is a shame. Because I had big plans to connect up the dock to the railway and have it all as one integrated hub, which it now can't be. Which, I mean, I'm going to use the I word again. It's irritating not being able to do that. But yeah, I built this dock, and then I kind of went through and realised, oh, you had this weird like graphics glitch there as well. I went and fixed that with the landscaping tool. I think I went and did a save, yeah, just in case the game was about to crash. Luckily, it didn't. But yeah, I built that dock, and I went to look to see what I could actually connect it to. And there isn't much, to be honest. There are some things that it could connect to, but not much. And then this is where I went off on a complete tangent. So I wanted to replace the bridge here. I'm looking at increasing the line speed, basically, and trying to get 75 mile an hour running for the faster trains. I don't think we're at a stage yet where 125 is necessary, but we're definitely at a stage where 75 is very much achievable. Now, I got screwed here by my own need for realism. I wanted the realistic slopes mod, which I've got, but because of that, I wasn't able to build the approach ramp to this bridge, which, I mean, you know it. It's irritating. I think I end up getting it sussed here. It's something to do with too much slope, and still too much slope. Basically, I rebuild the entire approach to this station because of this. And you'll see it in a sec, the way I link it all up. You see, that's way too low. Basically, trains will collide with the bottom of that bridge. So I go and start redoing bits here and there. And then I think I kept getting the too much slope because that line's lower than the line above. I don't know how that ended up happening. I guess the stations were built at different heights without me realizing. I felt this was a flat piece of land, but I guess it wasn't. So we end up having to completely redo pretty much this entire station, which again is just one of those things that happens, I suppose. And we still get the slope too steep message, which again, very irritating. But yeah, we come up with a solution, which you will see me do in a sec. We end up with a really tight curve as well. I can't believe that I actually had a railway run through. Look at that. Look how tight that curve has to be now. I don't know how I had it before. I mean, I was literally just looking at it, but I still couldn't tell you how I had it before. It's really weird. And yeah, we have these extra crossovers going in. And then we build... Oh yeah, we still have the too much slope error. I think I fixed it just by building it half and half. There we are. Put the double slip in there. Put the double slip in there. Build an extra junction thing there. And then I think this is all working now. All fine and dandy. I checked the overhang. All that stuff. I mean, it's only small commuter trains that use that branch down to Newton Aycliffe Harbour, is it? I think I called it, or docks, one or the other. So it doesn't matter too much that they have to slow down. Plus, it's freight trains. I was actually tempted to use the rusty rails for freight terminals, just to slow the trains down to a more realistic speed. Trains aren't going to be arriving at these freight terminals at 50 miles an hour, even if the track's dead straight. That, to me, feels unrealistic. So I might use the rusty rails just to slow them down. And for the approaches as well. But yeah, that's part 1 done. Believe it or not. Part 2. We're 20 minutes into a 30-minute video and we're starting on part 2. But this is part 2. And we're going to be redoing all of the approaches here to the mines. So we've got the iron ore mine. We've got the coal mine. I also redo the approach to the food factory, I think it is. Or the meat processing plant, I think it is. Around Harrow. I think I redo some stuff around Hereford as well. Actually, it might even be Hereford. There's like 4 junctions in this second section that I rebuild. Including lengthening these ore stations. I had a couple of extra platforms on either side, which made me realise the stations have actually evolved. I didn't even realise. You'll see here, I'm looking at the platforms like, oh, that's different. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, we extend the tracks and the platforms so we can have longer trains. The mineral train, the big mineral train, definitely needs to be longer because it makes money but it doesn't make a huge amount of money. Something I saw the other day which was interesting when I was playing this was the mineral train doesn't drop off all of its iron ore and coal at Luton anymore. It actually brings some of it back to, I think it's Gravesend. So I might have to have a look at some of the loading of the trains to work out why that is. To me it sounds like one of the other trains is then picking it up and taking it to where it needs to go, which I'm guessing is going to be Newton Aycliffe freight terminal. That to me is what's happening there. So I'll have a look at that. We'll check loading. I think I need to grab the screenshot for this week's thumbnail anyway. So when I hop in the game there, I'll have a look. See. But yeah, this is the one that I was rebuilding. This goes up to... Actually, where does this go up to? So that's Harrow Station there, isn't it? So that must be the tool factory that we're connecting up there, where Harrow Steel gets taken. This junction, by the way, was the bane of my existence, trying to get this to work. I have got it to work, obviously, but there's too much slope and everything like that. We end up replacing the road here at the bridge, I believe. And then, yeah, we do some stuff with... Okay, I'm just looking at this. So painful watching me rebuild these junctions. So painful. We kind of do a similar setup to the way we connected up Luton Station here, where we start off with this junction here and we slowly move it across, but then we have a couple of parallel tracks that then branch off and head down to the mine. Now this is sort of future-proofing in case we have ore trains that run north in the future. Right now we don't, they only run south, but you never know, the mines might grow large enough that we need it to run in all directions. So I've kept it just in case. This annoyed me as well, the fact that junction wasn't flat. I don't know why it did it like that. I don't think it needed to not do it like that, but it did it like that, so we're just going to have to live with it. I'm talking absolute gibberish today as well, I've just realised. Oh well, life goes on. So that's that junction connected up. The station here, I replaced this tunnel because didn't like it, basically. I thought it looked a bit stupid. You know, in the past you can have tunnels, it's fine, but when you get more closer to present day, it's probably easier just to build cuttings on little bits like that. And another new thing that I'm starting to do is use shunting signals for freight terminal approach lines. No reason other than I think it looks cool. So I thought I'd just go with it and see what happens. We built a couple of other crossovers here for trains that are leaving the mines. And then we build... Oh, yep, delete that one more time because I got it wrong. And then, yeah, we go. Connect it all up again. I think we ended up like a really... I think that was the derpy looking junction, actually. That might be why I rebuilt it. We ended up with a really weird looking junction. It's like really stretched out and unusual looking. So we go and fix that. And then we connect this line up to that line. And yeah, we end up with the double triangle, as I'm now calling it. Which, from the air at least, looks really cool. I don't know how cool it looks from the ground. But it is what it is. And then we build this extra crossover just so that trains from the north can approach the mine. And then that's pretty much it for this episode, to be honest. There's kind of like little detail work and stuff that I do as well. Or, you know, little bits and pieces here and there just to make it look a bit nicer and function a bit better. I have no idea what this does to the approaches of M4J Junction, by the way. I need to actually watch some freight trains and see how they operate. But yeah, it's just basically adding crossovers back in, replacing signals, adding signals where there aren't any. Looking at little other minor details. I think there's a couple of crossovers that I missed out, so I go and replace those. As I say, redoing the signaling around this bit as well. And just getting it all ready for hardcore usage, because that's going to be kind of next on the list, to be honest, is starting to look again at... oh yeah, I had this road as well. That was the other thing I forgot to do. Starting to look at ways of expanding our rail network as a whole, to be honest. So one thing I want to do, which I've been holding off on for a little while, is extend the railway from Hereford up to Maltby Parkway, which is the brand new mega station that we built a few episodes ago now. That's one part of the plan. Another part of the plan is looking at freight and are there any more industries that we can connect up. Oh yeah, there is one more junction that I forgot. This one here, this tunnel, this underwater tunnel, which looked great when I first built it. And the only reason I'm replacing it is because I couldn't get the realistic slopes to work. Considering that the railway here is kind of up on an embankment, raised up from the water's edge. And we're coming from an underwater tunnel. It would basically be like a roller coaster track, trying to get it steep enough to actually connect. And in the past, that wasn't a problem. But here you can see just how far above and or below we are still, even when we're at the maximum slope. So, sadly, the tunnel had to go. I will come back when we build a high-speed network, which will happen on this map, I'm sure of it. I will come through and build some underwater tunnels because they are freaking awesome. I love how that actually works in the game. I think it was Cities in Motion where you could build... That's the first game I played where you could build proper underwater tunnels. Obviously Skylines you can. And now this you can as well. I just love it. I think it's really cool. It's a cool feature. Some games don't include that. I'm trying to think of one of the other games. I think Cities in Motion 1 didn't have it, but Cities in Motion 2 did, if I recall. Yeah, just trying to go off the top of my head again. So this is another one of the Luton-inspired junctions. But this one, again, I like to build each junction's like unique, if I can. And I really like what I've done with this one. Yeah, we had some weird thing here as well to do with too much slope. I think it's a legacy thing from when I first built this line. So I do go back and fix that as well. But yeah, this one it's a double slip, this junction. You'll see what I mean by that in a second. But I love it. I think it works really, really well. And looks really cool. And we do have trains that use this junction. Use all parts of this junction. So it was important that we got it right. And I'd love to say that we did. I haven't properly tested this one either. Or at least I've not observed it in testing mode. But yeah, there's the double slip. And again, I think it looks really cool. So the aim is to get more trains using the network now. Passenger, freight, all that stuff. Adding more terminus platforms to existing stations. Not necessarily by building new platforms, but just by building new crossovers. So M4J Junction already has that. Maltby has that. Luton Town now has that in one direction. It will shortly have it in the other direction as well. And just utilising as much of the track work as possible. That's basically the goal moving forward. But until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series so far. Drop those comments down below with ideas for future episodes. Here's me replacing this bridge as well because I wanted to increase the line speed. yeah, drop those comments down below. Let me know what you want to see in the future. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It really does help me out. All the stats are looking really good at the moment, so I definitely want to keep that trend going. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. Like I said, all the trends are looking really, really good right now. This series definitely seemed like a good one to do. So thank you everyone who's watching and supporting. And yeah, enjoy your weekend, which starts tomorrow. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's Thursday, not Friday today. Have a good weekend anyway. Enjoy the rest of your week. And until next time, I will see you soon.